Emotional quotient is kind of the common term, and we're really talking about how well you understand your emotions, regulate your emotions, and use those emotions. I think EQ is used in everyday life, from your personal life, professional life, relationships. It's used in sporting events. It's used in, like I say, everyday life. The way we did it, it was acquiring an existing tool, and then from there we polished and made it better and more effective. To start from scratch to build a tool like this is probably a several year project. Through a process of researching the different vendors and the different models on the marketplace, you go out and say what type of background do you have, what type of validity do you have, what type of statistical reports have you run, and then the next steps are really actually using the assessment with some people that you know very well and try to get the face validity and how it works. And then kind of the third and most important piece for us is that we have to have a vendor or a partner that allows us to kind of see the secrets behind the tool and let us use our expertise in building assessments and using assessments in the business world to truly take what they've done and their passion and make it even better. Our tool came from Dr. Izzy Justice, who has an EQ mentoring program, and he built the tool because he wanted to be able to match mentors with the people they're mentoring based on their levels of EQ. I would say the people in the EQ industry or people that are knowledgeable of EQ would know who Dr. Justice is. He was with Deloitte and Touche Consulting, I believe, for quite a few years, and from there he set out to build his assessment and create his own business. Ideally, you would want to look at the total person. However, you can use EQ as a standalone assessment. You can really have benefits just from looking at a person's EQ, where their levels are, where they can improve, where they're maybe having some difficulties, whether it's in their professional relationships, their personal relationships, building networks, social skills, controlling their emotions. So EQ on its own really gives you a lot of information. However, when you take it and work with the behavior assessment, the motivation assessment, some of our acumen assessments, it really takes it to another level, and the EQ enhances all of those other assessments. Well, what we've always found over the last 25, 30 years in the business is that there are different cultures from around the world, but we really deal with it from a human standpoint, and human beings have the same physiological needs, physiological reactions to things, especially with emotion, and the fact that it's a chemical reaction within your body that causes these things to happen. It's really more of human nature as opposed to cultural based. I think what you really find out there is there's a lot of organizations that have problems with emotional control, with communication problems, with developing employees to a certain level. And it's an area where if you do it correctly, you use the right tools, the right support materials, it really makes a big impact for the organization. So it's more of a question of educating the marketplace of what the tools can do for you. An example I would give in that situation would be being able to control an emotion from a sales standpoint or a negotiating standpoint of if you get to a point of the selling process or negotiation process where the objectives are difficult or you're running into a difficult person, the more you control your emotions and stay calm or stay at a level state in that process, the more you're going to be able to have a clear mind and be very creative and very active in your way you solve the problem. And it is a little bit. I mean, it's a game of strategy, and it's a game of understanding yourself and understanding your opponent. And the more you know about yourself and what triggers different things and what could trigger other people, it's definitely a strategy, and it allows you to play the game of life, because it's really about being in control, being in charge of the situation, and that's the way life works. I don't know if there's any secrets. It's kind of the same techniques we apply through the training and things. It's a matter of understanding what triggers it and having some emotional enablers that allow you to stay at a consistent level.